For
You got to get
sure.
on your administration. Administration means even if you park your name, make sure it's there.
Mm.
Right.
Heavy, heavy.
Okay.
Um, Before we get started, what we talking about tonight? Because we definitely got something we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
Definitely got a topic. We definitely gonna get in this bag. But before we do all that, I want to know a little bit more about though, man. Like, what made you get started? Like, what was your inspiration? I mean, you from the crib. We had people here on the show that started from the crib. Shout out to Ace Saran and
Shout out Ace.
everybody
Shout
that
out
started
Ace
from the
One.
crib here and they just took off and they found more success. So, how did you get started, man? And what would you say to people out here that's from the crib trying to get started, but it's hard and maybe they just afraid to kind of move around? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I mean, my story is, not the typical hustler story, but the typical hustler story, meaning, it came from just being a kid to observing culture, meaning like fashion, music, art, and just coming up as a kid in the 80s and a teenager in the 90s. And then like once the 90s hit, I was confident enough to approach and take music as a hobby first,
Hmm.
because I still had to find my way. I still had to build my relationships, still had to meet people, still had to be I don't want to use the word groomed in that sense, but groomed enough to be introduced to mixing boards, real recording studios, reel to reel tape, because when nothing was digital, it was all analog.
Right.
And then after that, just kind of like taking the approach of trying to make beats, and then from there, taking those risks. I took a lot of risk. I worked 9 to 5s and went to school and did everything I needed to do
Yeah.
to end off my journey as a teen. But once I stepped into my 20s, I really took the faith of quitting the 9 to 5 world forever, and just whatever came with doing that, whether I had to sleep in cars or under a carpet in an abandoned building, wash up in a studio when nobody knows, you know what I mean? Like anything that came with succeeding,
Yeah.
I actually took it on and did that. And I tell people all the time, the success is never overnight.